All right. So, just relaxing, nothing too crazy. Code a full stack project using nextjs. I think Mongoose and MongoDB in this one. I think not 100% sure just yet, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Here we go. I have to jump in and get started here in just a moment. Yeah, we're gonna use Mongoose and MongoDB. But first thing we'll do is jump in and create our repo. Make sure anybody can see that. All right, it is available. We'll keep it public. We'll keep it public. We won't add a README, and we'll go ahead and create the repo. All right. We'll go ahead and launch this. The VS Code. Appreciate everyone checking me out. Hope everyone's having a good day. Yes, absolutely glad to be back. There we go. And we'll just copy this, add it to the terminal. We'll create a directory. And in the terminal, we'll go git init. We'll go git clone. Oh, duh. Hold on, what's going on, everybody? Just doing a full stack project. There we go. Cloning the repo. Yep, I'm aware. And let's create this next app. I want to make sure we get the latest command. Man, this thing is moving slow. Go with next. Docs. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's doing pretty good out there. Okay. use the latest version of Next. And I think that is npx create next app at latest spaced and dot, and that'll install it in the current directory. when I appreciate everyone checking me out and stopping by. Let me know where you're from. Just coding a full stack application. My apologies about my computer or connection. It is taking forever for this application to install. Typically it doesn't, but if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them or any suggestions. But just going to create a simple little event log where we can track various events or habits that we're trying to build. But I want to teach some concepts and a couple cooler things that I think will be beneficial and can be used to build larger applications. Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm here for it. It's all good. Right, right, right. Yeah, I do a little bit there as well too. I enjoyed this probably a little more, but it's all fun. I just enjoy it. So as long as I enjoy it, I'll keep doing it. If that ever changes, then hey, I'll stop. But until that time comes, it's all good. Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. Next.js, full stack. We'll use either Mongoose and MongoDB or Prisma. Could go Prisma and MongoDB, but we'll go Prisma vercel, or we'll probably go Prisma vercel since we are going to go ahead and go straight to the web once this finishes. It may make more sense just to go Prisma vercel. We'll do that, and that'll kind of get things going for us. Yep. No, let me know. I appreciate the support for real. Means a lot. Mm-hmm. Right. You know it. Yeah. No, everything isn't there just yet. Yep. Yeah, just a full stack Next.js app. We'll use Next.js for everything. Take advantage of those cool features and connect it to either a MongoDB or a vercel database. But we're gonna immediately. That's gonna be probably the very first. Yep. I haven't built it just yet, so I'm not 100% sure what it's gonna look like just yet. But we'll kind of build it as we go. Maybe I'll do a little diagram or something to kind of draw it out. But the big thing is just want to go ahead and get it on the web and then just kind of create a workflow where we can change branches and update it to the web and make some changes live, test some things out in development, kind of give you a little bit of experience or exposure to kind of what that world looks like. Yep, absolutely. Yep, you know it. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate everybody stopping by. Let me know you checking me out from. Would love to answer any questions you have. Just waiting on this Next.js app to finish installing, and then we will get things going. We're just looking to build a full stack application, get something out on the web, and then go from there. Yeah. I don't know just yet. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you know it. Absolutely. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. Had a intruder interrupt us, but it's all good. I appreciate everyone checking me out. Just doing a full stack next app. Going to immediately deploy it out to the web. So we'll probably keep it simple and go with Prisma, Postgres. I think it's Postgres Neon now on vercel. I may do some reading in that documentation pretty soon, and we'll kind of learn and explore a little bit about some of the changes they've had with vercel recently. I just haven't had a chance to check out the docs, so just kind of keep it simple and go with what I know, if you will. Yep. Oh man, this thing is dragging today. Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It has been the longest setup install ever. Nope. You know it. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to deploy this in just a moment. Yep, just installing the application now. That's correct. Yep. No, nah, man. Man, you silly. Just finally got a day off from work. Yep. I'll probably make some a little later on, but just want to do a little coding now since I got some free time. And this is what something I was gonna do anyway, so I just figured why not go ahead and knock it out now, you know, and chat with the people. Nope. Exactly. Of course. Of course. Yeah, you got it's gonna be one of the two. I know if I do, if you do MongoDB, you have to make some minor integration changes, and I don't know if it'll throw off some of the stuff I already have going on. But I guess what better way or time to find out other than now? So maybe I will try to integrate it. And let me just see while we are waiting on this. Let's go to vercel. Yeah, it's got to be my connection. I wonder if I switch over now, will it throw off the stream? Because if it doesn't, there we go. And I think it is integrations. And we'll integrate a MongoDB database. Yep. Oh yeah. I don't know. That's a very good question. That is a very, very good question. Who knows? I wonder if I can just do this. That's some bullets or something. Good grief. I didn't know if you could hear that or not, man. It threw me off. Like, what in the world is that? No, I just have a water bottle right here. Yeah. Yeah. Struggle is real, right? Yep. Right, right, right. I work on it behind the scenes. Sure will. Oh yeah, one of my favorite things to do, for sure. For sure. Of course. I will. I just got to get back in the habit of doing it. It takes a little more concerted effort now than what it used to. It's something I enjoy doing, and if it brings in value, then I'm apps always with it because that's what I'm all about. So, and then this is where we can browse the market. But see, I'm using something with this, and what I don't know is if I add another one, will it throw anything off? We could just install. Where is it? Connectable accounts. I can't remember, but we'll find it. And then we'll just add that. Yeah. Yep. It's just that simple. There it is. I think I think this is all we'll need. Let's just add it and see. Connect accounts. Yep. Redirect to Google. Log in with Google. And then that should be basically it. But we'll go through it and see. Logging in, give it some authorization. Thanks to JA Dad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. I absolutely do intend to. So this will basically give us access to all of my current projects there. Oh, they just disappeared on me. So let me just see what's going on with it. Make sure nothing crazy is happening. Yep. Yeah. If you do, yeah. Anybody. I appreciate everyone that's checking me out. Just want to interact with everyone while I'm building some little fun side projects, answering the questions anyone may have. But yeah, nothing crazy today, my friend. Nothing at all. I guess it didn't take the login previously. So it resume. Mm-hmm. Right, right, right. Of course. Yep. Yeah, just a nextjs project, server first approach. That is correct. That is correct, my friend. You are absolutely right. Of course not. Of course not. Yeah, it's definitely acting up a little bit, but it's okay. It's all good. We'll get through it. Yeah, I'm playing around with some of this stuff to make sure I'm not missing anything. But yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Well, absolutely. Nah. Here we go. Sorry, my yeah, just waiting on my MongoDB to, I guess, fully authenticate me so I can give it access to Vercel. So once everything is ready to go, we'll go ahead and immediately deploy it. And we'll have a working project application on the net, and then we'll just need to decide what we want to do with it. I'm thinking, I'm thinking we'll make some form of a learning tracker or event log tracker. Integrate Atlas with Vercel. Don't think you can see that, but that's okay. We'll just hit continue. Yep, and then resume. Right now, it's just giving me some authentication acknowledgments and questions to make sure I am who I say I am before my Atlas has access to, well, excuse me, before Vercel has access to my Atlas. I may have to delete one first. Let me see if it'll let me create one. I already have 4 going. I didn't realize that. And I think the most they'll let you have is 4. Yeah, I have to. Hold on. Let me we can do that now. Let's go to mongodb.com. Yep. Yeah, let me know if yeah, appreciate everyone stopping by. Would love to chat with you as well. If you have any questions, just leave it in the respective chat and I will be happy to answer it. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I bet it's my little guy back there. Mm. I just need to delete one of the projects so I can create a new one, and it'll be out the box connected to vercel. And then when we get ready to integrate vercel into nextjs, we'll update the git repo, add a commit, and then we'll go ahead and launch the project, and we'll be live and in living color on the web. And then we'll start to build it out a little bit, build out the interface and all that good stuff. I don't think I need to, but we'll check out the docs. Gonna use Mongoose to interact with the database. Mm-hmm. That's correct. Oh yeah. Well, while we wait on that, look what we have. So we have a Next.js project. So let's go ahead and do some initial configurations. I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit. First, let's get rid of this boiler in the home page. That's correct. We can remove this. Going to update the CSS. Yeah, what's up, man? Of course. Yep. Next.js. Yeah, I can use if that's something you'd like to see, just let me know. I'll be happy to. We'll set the height to 100%, the width to 100%. And I think it is at apply text small. And we set the overflow on the X to hidden. Yep, of course. Just let me know. I intend to go live again tomorrow. Not sure what I'll be doing. Maybe adding some additional features of this, or I may talk about a couple articles that I have been reading that I think will be beneficial to some of you. So we'll see. Just let me know. Yep, of course. Absolutely. Let's close this out. Close this out. Let me update the package manager so that as we install different dependencies, they are compatible with this version of Next. We'll go package manager. Actually, you know what? I think I'll have this somewhere. I'll just copy it. Let me load that. I'm waiting on this. Let's go ahead and get logged in. Yep. Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just want to provide some value, a little entertainment, education, all of that good stuff. Give back to those that help me to help the next person, for sure. That's what it's all about. I think it is workout log. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'll show it to you, but I named it event tracker. I'm not sure if that's what I'll end up, that's probably what we'll end up doing. I can get a little indecisive sometimes when I'm doing these. Yep. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Of course. Yep. No doubt about it. Why, of course. Here we go. I'm just going to paste this in. Of course. I genuinely appreciate it. Yeah, normally we'll be a little further along, but it's all good. I'm having fun. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to get busy. Of course, of course, of course, my friend. Of course. Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's for anybody. Anybody has any questions, just leave it in the respect chat, man. I'll be happy to answer. And I appreciate everyone stopping by. Just uh just coding a little nextjs project, having a little fun, answering questions. I make that try to make that a little easier to read too. Yep. Well, of course. Oh man, I appreciate the kind words. I genuinely do. Yep. Yeah, not ideal, but you just gotta work through it. Right, 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 right. Well, I don't know. I mean, it really just kind of depends. I don't think it to be a issue, not at all. That's absolutely right. You know it. It's absolutely right. Yep. Yeah, we're going to deploy the vercel here in a minute. Install Mongoose. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and install Mongoose now, because we will need that. npm I Mongoose. Give that a minute or two. Why, of course. Better believe it. Yeah, no doubt about it. That's right. Yep, just Next.js, Mongoose, MongoDB as our framework and database of choice, and we'll use Mongoose to interact with it and to bring them both together. I don't think we're going to add any authentication in this one. I think we'll just keep it just with a personal event tracker where you can keep track of different things that you want to learn or whatever it is, or different events. A lot of CRUD functionality. We'll add in a calendar component, passed it down as props, how to run it efficiently. So just a few little things like that. Yeah, of course. Of course. No, I appreciate it. Um I didn't I didn't plan on doing any testing in this one, but it is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I actually like that idea. Wish I thought of it myself. I may do that. On me today, I don't think, but or maybe it will. We'll see. We'll see. Yep. Of course. Of course. Yep. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, just let me know where you are stopping in from. And if you have any questions, just put it in the respective chat. I'll be happy to answer it. But I appreciate you giving me any time and attention. It is genuinely appreciated, for real. No doubt about it. Yep. Of course. Of course. Yep. That's exactly right. I'm about to connect it to MongoDB. So the problem is that I have too many projects available. I think you can only have maybe 4, so I need to delete some. So I'm in the process of deleting them right now. I just need to make sure I don't delete anything that's out there that I need to make sure I keep. I'm pretty sure I won't, but I'm just gonna make sure and just kind of keep some stuff a little private. No biggie though. That's correct. Yeah, I appreciate everyone stopping by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. If you got any questions, yeah, just leave it in the chat. Yep, that's right. Nothing nothing too crazy. Just relaxing, enjoying the day off from work, and deciding to build a little application while we're at it. No, we won't. If I did do any, it would probably be credentials and Google, authentication wise. That will probably be the two that I do. I do like writing credentials from time to time, but typically I just use something that uses Google, whether it's Clerk, Off.js, something of that sort. Like that's you can get when you, especially when you're doing something in production. If it's just a simple application for a friend or someone that you know, a side business, a freelance project, I would just keep it as simple as possible. Now, at scale, there could be different needs. And of course, you can always hook into it, and there are ways to get things done. But there could be a need to do traditional email and password. But most of the time, people want to stay away from writing that from scratch because of vulnerability. And there are people out there that make it their life's business, if you will, to interrogate your data. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind as well. So right now, what I'm in the process of doing is I'm going to add, before we connect to the database, I'm just going to add some code in the package.json that's going to make sure that the different packages we install, we will have access to them. You know, with the latest version of Next, yo, I don't know. What's up, baby? With the latest version of Next, it's not actually compatible with everything. So just to make sure it is compatible, I'm just going to update the package manager to ensure compatibility. Yep. And then once I get rid of some of these projects, we'll go ahead and move forward with connecting it to our MongoDB Atlas. That's right. Yep. Yeah, I finally stopped being indecisive, man, and just went ahead and went with Mongoose. I I get in my own head sometimes overthinking things. I'm pretty sure some of you may be able to relate, but it's just kind of the way I'm wired, if you will. I'm not necessarily a perfectionist, but I will think things through to get it as close to being right as possible. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's all good. Doesn't really matter. But I do. I'm a pretty thoughtful person. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. Yep. Yeah, it's been dragging a little bit, but it's all good. Just got a little bit of time off from work. Well, not a little bit of time. I got a day off from work, so just enjoying it. That is correct. Yep. uh, yeah, I probably will. Not right now though, but I'm pretty sure I will. Knowing me, absolutely. Why? Of course, of course, of course, of course. Yeah, it is. It's still in process right now. That's right. Yeah, I'm. We're gonna do that first. After we do that, and then we'll get it out on the web. I mean, we actually could do it without that, but it's best to just go ahead and establish that connection immediately, and then we can test it out in development, make it get it how we want it, and then deploy it out to the web, all in one swoop, if you will. Yep. Yeah, I will, man. I enjoy helping, and any way that I can, I try to make sure that I spend some time doing that, and even if it means taking myself out of my comfort zone, I feel like it's the right thing to do, and that's the best way to enjoy life, is to continue to get out of your comfort zone as much as you are comfortable doing. Yep, I sure am. Uh, that I'm not sure of. I'll have to look that one up. I think the next one I'll probably end up going over something that I want to talk about, documentation. Yeah, I'll probably do that next. Trying to be more consistent. It's something I enjoy doing. I just don't always jump on mic when I do it, or camera, I should say, in this environment. But yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Nah. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and connect it to MongoDB, and then we're gonna deploy it to vercel. That's right. Of course. Get it out immediately, and then once we do that, then we'll probably start by setting up some server actions, or maybe we'll start by building out the UI. We'll build the UI first, and then we'll come back and do the server actions. But I just want to have everything connected, because it is a little easier once everything's connected. And if there's a bug, we can say, hey, you know what, this is what we did. Let's undo what we just did, or let's figure out why we're getting this bug. And we'll go through that entire debugging process too, just to kind of let you see what that looks like. It doesn't make for the best. Nope. I just enjoy doing it. So if it's something I enjoy doing, I'll just keep doing. We all kind of got hobbies. Like, for me, it's a creative outlet, and it's a way to give back, and it keeps your brain sharp because you're constantly learning. Like, there is no slowing down with this thing. There is no, all right, let me just get comfortable. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to kind of get your hands wet in. So that's probably what I enjoy the most. And I didn't realize that hands wet in. So that's probably what I enjoy the most. And I didn't realize that I had that side, and that's probably what captivates a lot of you with it as well. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because if you think about it, we all kind of need that outlet, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And for me, this was just kind of it. I've done everything, and some things I still enjoy doing, but this is probably something that fulfills me quite a bit more than just about anything else that I like to do. It gives me that learning aspect, challenging aspect, the gratification of getting something done aspect, like that kind of stuff. You just can't put a price tag on. Yep. No, I started with Java. That was well, no, I'm lying. I started with JavaScript, and then I immediately jumped to Python, and I probably spent quite a bit of time in Python. And to be honest with you, it really didn't click for me. It took me a while for it to click with Python, but once I transitioned to Java, that everything kind of clicked for me at that point. And I don't know if it was because I was exposed to JavaScript and Python first, maybe so. The Java program or the Java learning journey took place in a more formal setting. So I assume that formal learning probably played a part in it as well. But for whatever contributed to it the most, that's where I grew the most, and that's where I really kind of got my arms wrapped around coding and how to code and all of that good stuff. Yep, that's exactly right. Wow. Yeah, I'm just cleaning it up a little bit, and then I'm going to flip it back, and then we'll deploy it out on the web. Sure will, no problem at all. Give me just a second with that part of it. No, just going to actually, we can just make sure that it is working now. Let's run npm run dev to spin this up on our local host. Yep. um, I mean, all of it kind of presented different challenges. I think machine learning probably because probably because I didn't have, like, obviously you in a formal setting, so you're gonna do what you got to do to learn. But like, I knew I didn't really had any intentions on using it. It was just good to know, and it was fun from that perspective. But like, I mean, man, that's not the aspect of it that I want to participate in, but it's part of the journey. So if it's part of the journey, you got to spend some time to learn. I'm not saying that it doesn't come into play in different scenarios, but by and large, I would do the less or the least with that. So that's kind of the least of my interest. That's right. That's Yeah. Well, it just depends. Oh man, I appreciate it, man. And there's another one that kind of lit my fire, if you will. But I came across the article a couple days ago, and then I had a conversation with one of my peers at work, and was just explaining to her like, "Yo, I literally just read an article about this, and I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't know that this was a real quote unquote thing." And I'm talking about imposter syndrome. However, it's easy to kind of get caught up in this, but at the same time, you're probably in a better space than what you realize. And here are the reasons why. So I was reading through the article, and it's kind of talking back with it with a couple folks in the chat, and they kind of have the same ideology as I do as it relates. I didn't ask their age or anything, or what their circumstances are, if they got kids or families or things like that. But ultimately, you just kind of can't put your fate or your happiness or your journey in the hands of someone else. It can't just be what someone thinks is best for you, and you can't rely on someone else. You got to kind of take the bull by the horn and be willing to take lead on your own life's journey, because if you depend on someone else for happiness or guidance, or for you to be successful, or for you to be fulfilled even, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Because yeah, you can appreciate people, you can love people, but you can't put that responsibility on somebody else. You got to kind of bring something to the table. And as it related to the article, you can't put that on your employer. It would be nice if they provided paid training, provided space for you to get trainings done, so that you don't have to spend your own time. But at the same time, you can't depend on your employer to do that. You put yourself in this position without your employer. For the By and large, some of you probably got a reimbursement, but for your schooling. But by and large, you still were the one that read the books, took the tests, passed the coding exams, built the projects, submitted the projects on time. Like, don't give your employer that much credit, because they're not the ones that actually did that part of it. So if they didn't do that part of it, then don't rely on them to kind of keep you going when it's time to do something different, or if something different is needed, or if you got to keep your tools sharp. Sure, there's going to be practice, but ultimately that's up to you. You got to kind of bring that engine to the table, and that vehicle to the table. And sure, the employer has a responsibility of some degree, but it's ultimately going to be up to you, baby. And that's kind of was the conversation, and that really was the sentiment. And you could tell that the approach was from someone that has a different expectation of the work environment than those that probably have been working for a while, and had a different experience as they were going through their working journey. So as it was different, we have different expectations. But I can understand it from someone else's side that has a different experience than I do. They may say, hey, no, the employer brings me in, the employer wants me to learn these tools, these technologies, the employer should train me. And to an extent, yeah, I agree with that. In most work environments, there's a level of training that's provided, but I think developers may need a little bit more than some. But even with that, you're still going to be expected to sharpen your own tools and to improve yourself in life's journey. So you just got to kind of know that, be prepared for that, and make sure you are setting yourself up for success as it relates to that. That's just kind of where we left it. And there were difference of opinion. We were talking about it. It was pretty cool. I will do another one of those pretty soon, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But there was a different opinion about it. I'm glad everyone was over the internet and a little more passionate than I thought. But nevertheless, it was a nice dialogue, because the flip side of it was the employer hires me. The employer has these expectations for me, but they don't want to help me. And then in the developer space as well, yes, you're going to have people that want to help you along the way, but they're also going to expect you to kind of be a self-starter and to be self-efficient, and for the things you don't know, be willing to get out there, jump, and learn it. So it's not a lot of hand holding in this space, because everyone kind of has their own things that they have to do. So you just have to be prepared to do what you need to do to put yourself in the best position to be successful. And see, that's where that self that self-reliance kind of comes in, that not everyone comes out of the box with. Some of us kind of develop that at different points and different stages in life. So that was kind of what the discussion was with the article. But it was pretty cool though, man. I intend to do more of them. I just don't want to do them just to do them. I kind of want to do them with a purpose, and or may have be at least be something I think would be interesting or helpful. But it absolutely exists pretty much in any in any walk of life. Even if you think about it from in the conversation my colleague and I had, it was more so about from an age perspective. I know the article was talking about how developers feel, but that's really something that folks of different ages experience as well too, when you think about it. Because so the scenario is this: you have someone that's been in a position or been with in a particular atmosphere for 15, 20 plus years, and now as times change, their desires for themselves, the company desires, all of those things change as well too. So now it's, hey, I need to be willing to come out of my comfort zone and do something different. So then that's where something like coding can come in at, and you're doing it at a later point in life. And then the imposter syndrome feels as if, hey, I'm not good enough to do this. I'm a little older. I'm a little later in my years of working, if you will, and I'm trying to transition into code. I don't know if I could do that because typically this is a youthful or a young person industry, and I may not be willing to be as limber, or maybe I am willing. I may not be as marketable, as flexible, as desirable as someone that is 10, 15 years younger. So then now that's where your self-doubt comes in. And I'm just speaking with her that knows problem solving. Just because you've been doing this way for years, it doesn't mean that you can't pick up on this. Here are your advantages, wherein this particular person may not be as better suited as you are. You're going to be stronger in here in this particular arena. So it's just kind of giving some guidance, some coaching, and just having some interesting dialogue about what that transition looks like, and everyone's path to success is a little different. And just because they may have a quote unquote seemingly advantage in over you in one or two areas, it doesn't mean that you couldn't win that race and that you don't have significant advantages in other areas. You see? But yeah, that was pretty much that was it. It was fun, real fun. Yeah, you know it. Absolutely. Well, we're gonna integrate it. Yep. I check it out now. Yep. I just needed to make sure I had some stuff cleaned up a little bit. I didn't want to have all of that. Yeah, I don't like trying to see all that, man. Some of y'all like to hack and do all this other crazy stuff, man. I don't, that ain't me, man. I ain't trying to do all that. Exactly. No, not at all. You know it. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Yep, I genuinely do. Yeah, just happened to have a day off from work, and I knew I was going to do quite a bit of coding today anyway. I got a few things I'm working on, so I just figured I'll just do it live. Not really trying to instruct or anything right now, just hanging out, coding. Gonna put something out on the web, and we'll continue to enhance and work on it from there. I don't know if I'm gonna build the back end out of the front. I may build the front. There's a website or application that I really liked its design and layout. I may try to mirror that for this, but then again, I doubt it. I may make a totally separate video about that one. We'll see. Yep, connect the account. I remember last time I got the error message about having too many projects open. Like I said, I think you can only have 4. So because you can only have 4 and I already had 4, I needed to shut down a couple and didn't want to shut down something that I'm currently using or I need for someone else. So just need to make sure I did the right thing. And right now, yeah. It's loading. And then once that stuff goes away, then it'll be back to the normal view and we'll be able to see the integration and make sure that we get everything connected. Yep. The layout, we may add some user authentication, we may not, I'm not sure just yet. If we do, we'll write it from scratch. I don't like using the MongoDB adapter with vercel. I had some issues with it before, so I just rather not use it personally, but that's just me. Yeah, of course. uh, I guess, man, I do the best I can, man. I'm just like any old regular Joe, if you will. I just enjoy what I do and try to give back to those that were of benefit to me, and in this instance, this environment, this community, for sure. Yep, we'll build a full stack next app, and we're gonna get it out on the web in a moment or two. Right. Of course, we'll probably build it from scratch. Like I said, I don't like using the adapters, but we could add Clerk too, though, and we could run Clerk server side. And I think we could. All we would need to do is pull in the. I need to do is just pull in the email address and set it up to where we store the events or logs or whatever we want to call it by the email address of that logged in user. I'm pretty sure Clerk. I know Clerk has server side with Next.js, so we may do that. Or we can grab it from the front end. It's pretty simple. But I'm thinking I'll just write credentials from scratch if we add authentication, but I don't intend to, is the way I will answer that. But as you're kind of doing this and building things and thinking about it, you change your mind about it. So who knows? We'll see. Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh man, yeah. Thanks everybody. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for a little bit of attention today. And if you have a question, just leave it in the respective chat. I'll be happy to go over it and answer it. Yep. Thank you, man. Thank you. Oh, my favorite. Ooh, that's a good question. Probably just a straight code, and just not necessarily with a end goal in mind. Well, always with an end goal in mind. But one of my favorite, to answer your question, is Java by far. Man, I love Java. I'm the most comfortable with it because I like structure, and it is very, to me, it's a little more structured, and there's certain ways to do certain things. It's not so many ways to do so many things as it is with some of the other languages. Python is like that too. It's You could do a lot with Python as well. Yep. But Java is it for me, and that's really when I felt like everything clicked the most. And it could be because I gave myself enough time with it. There was enough things I was doing prior to Java that I got had opportunity to get good with Java because I was exposed to enough code, if you will. Wherein with some of the other ones, Python or JavaScript was first out the gate, so still kind of green with that. And of course, HTML, CSS was first, but was kind of green with that. And then that was a little a little easier to understand. So I was ready to move on from it pretty good, pretty quickly. And then jumped into JavaScript, and that's when some interactivity and want to build various things and had fun with it. And then after went from JavaScript, end up jumping into Python, and that's when my eyes really kind of open up to like everything that you can do and like everything goes off code. And of course with Python there are so many built-ins that you can leverage to build different things with. Your imagination can run wild with that. And that's where I guess my issue with that is that it's just so much to it. And then if ultimately I kind of want to really get into the web development side of things, and being in web dev, it was it it wasn't as easy as it could have been. I thought the steps, some of the stuff with but I like Django and Flash, I'm not even gonna lie. And then jumped into Java, and that's just where really, really, really kind of took off from a I really enjoy this perspective. Yep. So we're going to create a new project. I'm not sure if it's just going to let me name it. It's been a while since I've used MongoDB with vercel. I had just been doing Prisma, but I figured I'd change it up today. Yep. Of course. Of course. Oh, wow. Caring for the mouse ID. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that would be possible. You know what? Why don't we do it like this? Since I'm already here. Uh-oh. Instead of integrating it like that, we'll just do a new project, and we'll go live log tracker. We'll click next, create project with the default permission for the users. Yep, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Right. Why, of course. Of course. Absolutely. Yeah, it's coming up now. Yep. Of course not. Nope. We're going to deploy. That is the intentions. Absolutely. We will create. Right. No, I appreciate it. Let me know you checking out the stream from. I appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions, yeah, I'll be happy to answer any questions. No doubt about it. Mm-hmm. Of course. I thought so too. I thought so too. Yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah, we no, we're just using nextjs and going to deploy vercel. I'm just creating the database right now, the MongoDB connection. I tell you what. Yep, and then from there, we will. That's right. We'll just go ahead and deploy it. Make sure it's deployed, and we'll be good to go. Yep, that's the goal. That's the expectation for sure. We shouldn't. Later on, I may. Right now, I'm not. I don't think I will, but that doesn't mean I won't. But I don't think I will. Correct. Yeah, it probably would. So that's why I'm just going to set that up now, and we're just going to use the free tier. We'll keep the name, remain the provider. This is the region that's closest to me, but just be sure that's selected if you're doing that. Yep. And we'll just deploy it right quick. And then while we're waiting on that, we'll close out the package.json and the root of our directory event tracker lib db.ts. I need to add the connection function. We'll add that now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't necessarily have an opinion about it one way or the other. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's just like anything else with business. You got to kind of know that there are going to be things that come up to make things more efficient. You just have to figure out how you're going to fit into that equation, because if you don't continue to evolve, then time will pass you by, and that's what you don't want. That's right. You want to be in a position where you're always at the forefront. Correct. Yeah, yeah. Just right now, I am just adding a function that will allow us to establish a connection to the database if there isn't one. And this is basically going to, once it's established, make sure that it is running in the most efficient manner possible. I'll use dot connection dot ready state. Yep, it should equal. I think it's one, and we want to return. That's right. And then from here, we'll store the environment variable in a. We'll store the connection string in a variable inside of our environment variable file. Yeah, this typically I have. I would just copy this in, but I um I don't have a prior project of this, and I could just type it out. I've typed it enough. It's no biggie. Mongo underscore URI. Yep, this will be the same variable that we're going to store the connection string from MongoDB in. So I'll just add that now. And on this get ignore, I'll add .env. We'll add that now. And we'll just say, actually, make sure we're connected console.log MongoDB connected. Yep. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah, if you have anything, just I don't mind answering any questions. That's what I do. Um, error. So to establish a connection if there isn't one already there, and make sure that we're using an established connection if one already exists. Yep, MongoDB. That is the connection string. Yep. No, I appreciate it, man. That's absolutely correct. Yep. Yeah, if you got any questions, just ask away. I'll be happy to answer them or look up the answer to them if I don't know. That's right. Uh-oh. What is this warning? Yeah, if I do have any audio issues, let me know. I assume that everything is okay, but I I'm not 1,000,000% sure coming out on the other end. But if it is not, just let me know. My apologies. I certainly didn't wasn't aware and didn't intend for that to happen. Just trying to be respectful, man. Just trying to be respectful. You ain't got to do me like that. Right, right, right. You know it. Of course. Always, always, always. It feels like that's the right thing to do, you know? I think the next big thing is just want to start practicing the right habits, you know, because sometimes when you're doing these tutorials or you're building it on YouTube, you may not follow all of the industry suggested practices. So just making sure that I stay true to that or making sure that that's incorporated in my day to day so that I'm setting a good example for someone else that might be interested in seeing what it is that I'm doing. That's all. I think that is the responsible thing to do. Yeah, man. You know, I'm a little older, so I kind of keep those things in mind. Yep, of course. Oh man, I appreciate the kind words, sir. Yeah, I appreciate it. Just trying to be helpful and give some guidance. I appreciate it. Of course. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, 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 no. Yeah, so I'm big on reading documentation, and I think that this has a place, especially if you just kind of want to get something going, or you just kind of want to get your feet wet and get an understanding of something. But ultimately, that true learning is going to come in getting your hands dirty, and there's no better starting point, if you will, than the documentation, because it's going to be not all the time written in a hand holding step by step manner. Some of it you're going to have to kind of imply, and you're going to have to apply some practicality to it, and that's what makes it unique over just following what someone else does, because typically on a tutorial that's published, you're not going to always see the mistakes. Otherwise you'll be writing a, you know, 3-4 day project that could probably be done in, you know, 10-12 hours, if you will. So you don't typically get that experience, and that's usually the best way to kind of learn, is to make those mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Same thing in code. The same that same little cliche that you heard growing up in life, it remains true in the coding space as well too. Yep. So just setting up the cluster now before we select the integrated into vercel. That's right. Oh, nextjs, and I'm using mongoose, not prisma, changing it up a little bit, making sure, you know, with MongoDB versus Postgres, making sure we have those object IDs and all of that good stuff. And of course, this is TypeScript. Absolutely. That is going to always, you know, I wasn't always a big fan of it, but as you deploy projects and You become a little bit more seasoned with some things, and your interests are a little different. Expectations are different. You kind of, all right, I realize I do need to do this. Okay, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. Why was I tripping before? And look, I guess I have my own imposter syndrome, as I was talking about in that article, that sometimes I don't necessarily have the time to always want to learn something new. Sometimes I kind of just want to pick up something with where I'm at and learn it from there. Yep. So I'm just going to create a database user. Yep. You can make it whatever you like. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just making up something. It's not. Yeah. If this was that's something I was going to keep and all that good stuff, I wouldn't have this much exposed. This is more so for demonstration purposes. Yep. So we're just copying this, and you'll use this string and store it in nextjs, and then you add your password right here. Nah, I ain't showing you that, man. Calm down, man. Some of y'all like to hack and mess with people, man. I'm just out here trying to do the right thing, and man, so I'm good on that. Thank you though, man. I appreciate it. That should already. Right, right, right. Yeah, that's all you need to see for right now. There you go. Now, you probably the main one. Trying to get your boy, man. Ain't nobody like that, man. Cut it out. I'm just here trying to help, man. And you up here talking about hacking, man. Get out of here with that, man. Now I appreciate you looking out for me, but you tripping though. Yeah, man. Hacking. Building a little name. Ain't nothing gonna be in here for real, man. It's a little Next.js app. No, but we are gonna put it out on the web though. Yep, for sure. And I'll probably make this. I will, for those that actually want to learn and follow along. Yeah, but I'm just building it live, doing what I would normally do. Except in this instance, I am interacting with the people. Man, I don't even remember. Yeah. Oh, duh. As if I haven't done this before. Of course. Always more than one way to skin a cat. Of course. You better believe it. Um, I think I got the most experience with Express, but I'll be honest with you though, man. Just getting started, probably the one of the better frameworks. Well, frameworks would be Flask, Django, man. Django is a little complicated. I wouldn't say complicated, but it's a little more involved than Flask. But man, Flask is man, it don't take much at all for Flask, for real. I was impressed. You can get something nice up very very quickly with it, and and it works just fine. And you could do pretty much. There's a special syntax you have to use, but you basically are writing HTML, and CSS is CSS. But yeah, there's a little different syntax. I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've used it, but I have some prior lives and where I've used Flash and Django. So if you did want to see something like that, let me know. And when I build out my portfolio, I thought about using Flask, but I'll at least have a project in it that demonstrates my ability to use it. And if more is needed, I'll certainly provide it. And then whatever I build, I'll make sure I put it live and out on the web for you to see and maybe even follow along if you're interested in that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm just up there. I don't know what I set my password as, so I'm just updating it now. Yep. And I'm just gonna do that. Nah, man. There's somebody in here being weird, talking about hacking your boy, man. So I'm not going to. Just give me a second. We'll pick it back up in a minute. I figured you probably wasn't interested in seeing all that anyway, so I'll just make sure that if I and I will build this as an actual follow along tutorial that I include that. But for right now, we're good. Of course. Yep. Nah. uh, why? Oh, I was no. So no, this isn't Flash, man. This is Next.js. I was talking about a framework that the question was, what's a framework do I enjoy building with? And I wanted, of course, Next.js is the obvious, but I also enjoy building with Flask. Is what I was saying. It's Python, but um, it it is very lightweight, very simple to use. It can be, and you can add some complicated logic or some complexity to it. It's not all that much a ground level to where you can't grow and do different things with it. But it is a little more challenging than some of the than a React or a Next, because those are kind of built for the web. And Flask is built for it as well too. It's just probably not with some of the more modern features and things that you have kind of become accustomed to, if you will. And I actually can load this on localhost 3000 while we're doing that. I think I have this thing connected. I'll just need to build out the models, which we can go ahead and do that now. I think, let me make sure localhost works, not that it matters. And then once we do that, I'll go back to integrating it into vercel, and then we'll put it out on the web. Right, right, right. Yeah, Mongoose, MongoDB. Yep, that's correct. I will I'll be right back. Right, so we're back. Sorry about that. All right, so let's add the models. Lib, I think I'm gonna call this events. But we'll call this confident. Now we'll call this log model.ts. We'll import mongoose. Yep, just a full stack app from Next. We're using Mongoose and MongoDB, and then we're going to deploy to vercel in just a second. I'm just setting up interface. I'm just setting up the model for right now. And then once we have this set up, then I'll go ahead and deploy it out. Yeah, I think next I want to do some stuff with Cloudflare, but Cloudflare kind of pretty much has, you put everything through it, and from what I was reading, it's a little more challenging to integrate. And so if it's challenging to integrate, I mean, it's probably hard to add different things to it. And I'm not a big fan of running everything through one provider, if you will, because if that one provider goes down, then you're in some trouble. But don't get me wrong, I am aware that it brings a lot of benefits and it's very beneficial. It's just, you got to kind of weigh your pros and cons. Do you really want to go through that, or and be tied up with one provider, or do you want to maintain some flexibility and be willing to kind of be a little limber? On the personal life, I like to have that structure, but I think in the web space, anything can happen, and you just kind of want to be prepared just in case anything comes up. So we'll have a name of a log, whether we've learned them or not. I just made it as a string, but we'll just go. I kept it as a string, but for it, it'll be basically true or false. If it's learned, we'll show one thing. If it's not, we'll show another. Then we'll have the ability to update it. I think I'll include a icon. That way, we can have some visual representation, and users can select something different. I think this might be it. Need much with it, right? Um, we'll go comfort, and then we'll add notes. Yeah, just the next app. We're gonna push it live. I'm just adding the models first, and then I'll finish with the integration to Vercel. We'll push everything to Git, make sure it's live, and then we'll be good to go. Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yep. Then that will go const log schema. Schema. We'll go. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, yeah, ask away for sure. uh, learn learned. Yeah, will be a type string. We'll go required. Yes, correct. No, 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 no. We're gonna struggle. This is gonna be the same thing, so I'll just copy it to save the trouble. Oh man, that didn't go as planned. What am I doing? Make that name. Nope. Right, right, right. Icon will be a type of string. Add created at the type date. And the default if it will be date now. And then we'll add some notes. Right. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No doubt about it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, what's going on? Right. And we'll add comfort next, which will be a required string. Change this to comfort. Comfort. So we have learned name. We'll make this. So icon not required. Notes not required. Comfort required. Name learned required. Okay. And next up, we'll need to export it so we have access throughout the app. This will be models dot log or model log. Let's say log or this was log schema. And this should be iLog. There we go. All right, I think this looks pretty good. So we will, yeah, man, I appreciate the support. We're gonna jump in and so we got the model, we got the function, we've installed, I think we've installed MongoDB. No, we have not. So let's do that. Uh, there we go. We'll stop the terminal. Let me go back to the cluster. Connect. So this requires, it says, which I don't know. I've had it, I feel like I've had it work without it, but I'm looking for, it should have the command to install it. There it is, install MongoDB. I don't think it's needed for this method, but I'm just gonna make sure. And if I'll be able to check it later on in a future video, and if not, we'll remove it. But we just want to make sure before we attempt to deploy. I need to push this to Git as well. So we need to go through the Git actions. I'll do that next. Correct. That's right. We'll just install that right quick. Yep, yep, yep. And then we'll do that in just a moment. Just hang tight with me. Yeah, we're gonna put it on the web. That's the whole point of it. Looking to get that going early because I just think it make it a little easier to kind of already have it out there. and then you don't have to worry about it. Right. So it is it's something that you definitely want to consider. I just like to use Vercel, but there's a few other platforms that you can use to deploy, and they all have benefits, pros and cons. You just have to kind of read up on them, educate yourself, and see what makes the most sense for you. The first thing usually, if you're doing it just for yourself or for someone else that you know, and they're just trying to have an online presence, is going to be money. How much traffic? What are they looking to have done? Do they have a custom domain? Are they looking to take payments? Is it just going to be static data? Like, there's a, do they need to do a lot of interacting? If they do, what does the performance of the website look like? Like, there's a lot of things that you kind of want to consider depending upon that customer's needs. Not saying there's nothing that you can't do, and you got to start somewhere. So don't be afraid to jump in and get started, because that's how all of us learn. Oh, the last thing, let me add Daisy UI, because I don't I want to make it a little easier because of some of all the stuff we're gonna be doing. We'll add Daisy UI. I know Next UI. I think it got changed, and I haven't done much with it lately. If you'd like for me to, let me know. But I've been using. I'm a Daisy fan personally. Yeah, I know Shad CN is pretty popular. I like it as well. I'm considering making my own, if you will, but then again, it's kind of like, what's the point? Because that requires a lot of maintenance, and if it already exists, then it probably makes the most sense to leverage what's already out there. But I'll tell you something that I will make in the future is a starter kit. I don't know how many times I've written starter code over and over and over and over. And how simple would it be to already have my own starter repo that I could download, set up on my desktop, and then have it out of the box ready to go. And all I got to do is update environment variables and change a few things around. I spend a lot of time setting up projects. This is the Daisy UI website, and we're following the path to install it into a Node.js Tailwind CSS project. Yes, you could go down the Next.js path, but it's basically the same thing. It's really these two steps that are required in order to install it. So we'll install this first to the terminal. Install this command, the Daisy UI at latest command. Give it a few minutes, and then we'll add the code configuration to the CSS. Just taking a few seconds to finish installing. Yep. All right. Let's go back to it. Then we'll add this plugin into our global. It says app CSS, but of course for us it's global. Oh, it's an app. Duh. So I thought I removed that, but yeah, I did. So now we're at a point where we can close this out, and let's go ahead and make these changes and push it to Git. So we'll go Git add space. Yep. And we'll go Git commit. We'll name the initial setup with the initial Mongoose MongoDB setup. I want to change this. Let me change this to personal, personal, I want to call it a habit tracker. It's more of a personal event tracker. So let's go get add, update. Let's change that. Write this update. What is that title? Title update. Yep. And certainly not least is git branch m main. We want this on the main branch. Then we'll go git push new origin main. Give it a second. Hey, what's up? No, just updating this to GitHub. Once it's updated to GitHub, then we're going to integrate it into vercel, get it out on the web, make sure we have everything good to go, and then we'll just start to build out the UI and all that good stuff from there. Yep. No, man, I appreciate it. I'm just enjoying a day off from work, doing some coding, interacting, having some fun. I appreciate it. Okay. So then now let me go check this out. It's still going. Yep. Next.js, Mongoose, and MongoDB. Yep. No reason in particular. I just do a lot with Prisma and Postgres, so I just decided to change it up a little bit today. No, it's not going to give me any better performance than MongoDB, to be honest with you, for this type of project. Next, I am going to bring in Convex, not today or not right now, obviously, but eventually I do intend to. Correct. Yep. And then that way we'll correct. We'll push everything. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's real time. I enjoy it. I just I just didn't do it today. That's all. It's probably one of my favorite websites or backends to work with. I built a algorithm and data structure visualizer with it to keep it real time. It was very I enjoyed it. I didn't keep it because I felt like I could have made it a lot better, a lot more efficient. It really was just to kind of test it out because I was in the process of learning or not learning, but just kind of retouching, familiarizing myself with it again, and was having some fun with it, and decided to build a project with it and put it out on the web. It was okay. If I still have it, I'll pull it up, but I didn't save it to a portfolio or anything because what I'm thinking is I didn't like the design or the layout of it. It really was just to see if I could do it, if you will. But now that I know that I can, then I think I will do something a little bit more formal so that I can have it and put it a part of my portfolio. But I didn't do it this time around though. All right, so we have this, and I don't know if I should. I may have done this backwards, but it's okay if I did. We'll figure it out. We'll get it going. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. And I'm thinking I'll have a page or maybe a link out to it with the repo. And then if you click site, it'll be a bunch of links of all different data types, algorithms, and all that good stuff. And I think it'll be linked to its individual page, or maybe I'll do where you can select the array, how many numbers in the array or items in the array, and then you'll be able to select the algorithm. And once you select the algorithm, the visualizer will kind of show what that algorithm looks like. That's basically how it was. But I did a little research to try to see what already exists, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. I didn't see one that really kind of stood out better than the other ones. So ready to do it, I'll make sure I stream it, and I'll just go with an approach that just kind of works for what I'm looking for. But I don't really have a ideal way of going about it though. Very good question. Made me think there for a second, man. Yep. So this you actually can keep track of things that you may be learning, and your comfort level with this learning log, and that's kind of the point of this. And next I'll do an actual habit tracker. I just need, honestly just need to kind of play with one to see what one looks like, because I'm not I don't have one, so it's kind of hard for me to say, hey, this is what it should look like. This is the functionality it should have, and it should work like this, because I don't have one. But I did see one on the internet. You have to download the app, but I think it gave enough of a video walkthrough that I could at least see how it functions and get an idea of it. But that's something that I would build and kind of keep for myself and actually use, and maybe even put out to the public for financial consumption, because everybody can kind of use a habit tracker. Like I was thinking, how people are doing the whole, what is it, 75 hard. You could you could keep track of your progress with it visually online and have the ability to go back and check it out. That's kind of my thought process with it. But we'll see. That's a very good question though. But this will be deployed in something that we'll use. I'm just integrating the MongoDB right now, and don't want to bore the legal or the security stuff, I should say, that comes along with it. So just bear with me. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I appreciate those that are asking questions. I love to interact with everyone, and if I could be of any assistance, let me know. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. That's correct. uh yeah, it is. It sure is. No, I'm just integrating it right now. If you want me to do something like a tutorial, if you think it'll be valued, man, I absolutely will do it. I just didn't I ain't think you cared like that. I just didn't want to waste anybody's time. I ain't thinking about cared like that. I'm just going to just hang out with it for sure. Yep. Nah, man, nah, you're tripping, man. You're tripping. Yeah, man. Somebody got to talking about hacking and got me spooked, man. So I just figured I better just play it on the safe side. But I'll do a actual tutorial with the walkthrough and show it, and I'll be able to kind of control what sensitive data is being exposed at that point. It's just right now, in a live environment, you can't really control a lot of that stuff. So I didn't want to run that risk. Yep. But it's almost ready to go now. I am. As a matter of fact, nah, it ain't gonna do it now. That's okay. Oh, it's almost ready to do that. We'll acknowledge. Of course. Of course, of course, of course. Yeah, just a simple next app. We're gonna make this a learning tracker. Yeah, that's what we can call this, a learning tracker. And keep track of things that we learned. For right now, I only have notes, but I did build something in the past that had like flashcards when I was kind of wanting to have a little interactivity with a card, and then from there you can create a slideshow that's kind of similar to cycling through flashcards, doing a little bit of framework, not framework, a little bit of state management and getting the hang of that. Oh, what's up, YouTube? Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought so too, man. There's a site, I think it's called learningmate.io, and I really like the flow of it. So I thought about creating something similar myself where you can enter in or you can create little virtual flashcards and you can keep track of what you learned, what you didn't learn, and all of that good stuff. So I may, if there's some interest, I could add that to this. I think that would be a nice integration. If you want to see it, let me know. I could turn this into a series and make that certainly a part of it. It was um it was something that was practical and that you actually could use. That's what I enjoyed about it the most. So I think I need to, yeah, let me do that now. All right, so we'll go ahead and connect it to vercel. So I think I'm gonna have to do it this way. So we'll go to overview. No, we're already there. Yeah, this is integrations. See it right there in the URL. We'll go to overview. I got a little froze on me there. Yeah, I appreciate you being patient with me though. It mean a lot for real. I forgot it was gonna ask me for that. So I do need to wanted to just figure out which way could I go ahead and do the database integration first, or do I need to launch the project first? And clearly I needed to launch the project. So I think what we'll do next is let's just go ahead and get this on the web, and then we'll integrate that cluster in vercel, and then that'll take care of the setup and deployment. And we can shift our focus to the layout of the project. There we go. We're gonna add new, we'll add a project. Yeah, everyone that's stopping by, I would love to know where you are currently located. Event tracker. Yeah, it is event tracker. Okay, so we'll import it. And we just need to add the environment variables. And when you add those, you could just copy them straight in. I'll show you. It's just the one for right now. This will let us know if it's not working. We'll do deploy. Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. You talking about the flashcard? You talking about the flashcard idea? Yeah, I thought so too. Well, I'll make a video of it. For sure. Not a problem at all. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Would love to know where everyone's watching from. Thank you for the support. Is this now? What is this? What is this? What is not found? Well, we'll give it a second. It'll let us know in just a second. Next.js. Yeah. Learning log tracker of some sort. That's basically what it is, or what it will be, I should say. Yep. Of course not. Of course not. Says deployment is complete until we have it should redirect us typically what it does on the dashboard, and then once it does that, then we'll test it out. I don't know where this came from. I don't know or if it was cat or cache there, so I don't know because I don't remember seeing that. But I got the complete message there. There it is, just saying congratulations. So maybe this I'm not sure. But let's go to the dashboard and see what we got. We'll give this a minute. It'll let me know right here if it sees the website. Typically, it'll give you a preview right there on the website. It's saying congratulations. Go to the dashboard. I thought we get graffiti and all that good stuff. Yeah, you see homepage right there. Okay, yeah, there goes the graffiti that I was looking for. Yep. We are here, baby. You know it. Yeah, just a Next app, and we're running it locally and in deployment. So if we click on domain, let's just see what we get. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Sorry, it is deployed now. Here is the deployed website with the home page. So it is good to go. Yep. So next we'll work on the styling of this and the overall layout. But I did want to get something out on the web. I don't know, we may. No, I appreciate it though. I actually don't need this right now. And let's just make sure Daisy UI is working and we can keep it going. Back to code. Let's go there. And we'll go button. DAISYUI. And I think just need to get us a class of BTN. Hit save. Check it out. Wait a minute. Stop that. I don't think I have it running locally. Let's run npm run dev. We'll make sure that it's working in development. Then we'll check it out. Oh yeah, I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, just enjoying the day off from work and figured I do this every day anyway, so I might as well take a little time and go live with it, answer some questions or anything anybody may have for me. Mm-hmm. So it is Next.js. I updated this. I'll make sure that it works, and I'm gonna add a fave icon into the public directory. I don't think we need to have any container bucket or anything, not right now. If we do, we could use Cloudinary. We can use Cloudinary storage. AWS cost It typically costs a decent penny. So bam, and Daisy UI is working right there. I think I can do this while it's still running. So we'll do a git add. Sorry, we'll do a git clear that. Git commit. We'll say Daisy UI confirmed working. Perfect. And then we'll do a git push to push this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What did I do? Clear. Let's do git Daisy update. Daisy UI update. Daisy UI confirmed working. Okay, so it's already up to date. And if we did a push, sorry, I was tripping, did a git add and didn't need to, but we'll just push this to GitHub. And then what I'm looking for is to make sure that Daisy UI is working in production. So let's go and check the logs to make sure that our vercel is updated. Deployments. I just want to make sure current 45 seconds ago, 7 minutes ago. Let's go redeploy production, building. All of that looks good. Yep. Yeah. So server actions. Most of this code is going to be written with server actions because I like to minimize client side activity anyway. And by design, that's how Next is built. We are going to have some client side components, particularly with the calendar that we're going to have. But for the most part, everything is going to remain server rendered. All of the pages will be server rendered. We'll just bring in client components inside of those server components, basically. Yeah. And for those that don't know me, but if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of the documentation. So that's going to kind of be where I'm going to spend a lot of my time to kind of figure things out. I don't think it took. I'm gonna check it though because I don't see it in the. I didn't see it in the preview, so I don't think it took just then. But we're gonna check to make sure. I see the title was updated, which is a good thing, and we'll do the fave icon. I think there's a free icon maker. I may just grab something and it's to have something there for now. It's still spinning. Yeah. That's correct. I don't know. I don't know. It really just kind of depends. Yeah, just kind of depends. Yeah, my apologies. My connection is being a little temperamental. Nah, no. Yeah, everything is good with it. I just I'm just testing a couple things out to make sure that everything works in production as it does in deployment. But everything is good with it though, for sure. And then what we'll do is we'll add some simple styling. I typically start with APIs or the back end first, but with this one, I think I'll add a little user interface at that. Then we'll kind of branch out and continue on from there. But I'm just waiting on the deployment to finish. It's just taking a minute or two. I'm assuming it's probably my connection. But once I get confirmation that it is deployed, then from there I'll go in and I'll show it and make sure that Daisy UI works. But I do know it works in development because that's what you're seeing right now. So that's definitely a good thing. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Yep, Daisy UI. I like it. I just didn't use it for this project. That's all. I don't think I've used it at all for any projects on my channel as of yet, but I eventually will though. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, not at all. Not at all. Not yeah. Eventually, I sure will. But right now, it's yeah. It's not that serious. I need to push this to the origin, to the main origin. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just gonna be kind of out there in limbo, and we won't have correct. That's exactly right. I'll do it as soon as this command is finished, and then we'll make sure that we see it in the Git repo. And once we see it there, we know the update actually took, and we'll be able to confirm that it is good in vercel, which is where it matters. It's git push in the main origin, or origin main is the right. It's just a simple next app. That's it. Nothing nothing crazy today. Using Mongoose and MongoDB. Next, we'll go with, I don't know next. I don't want to commit to nothing because you might try to hold me to it. But I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm going to shift my focus to building a portfolio website. I was in the midst of reading a few articles. I came across this gentleman that built a personal portfolio site, and I just loved it. He made the source code free. Doesn't I'm gonna absolutely use it because I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And I'd be crazy not to. All right, let's check out exactly. Yeah, that's what it's there for, man. I'm not a big fan of recreating the wheel, and when it come down to like design and things like that, that's not necessarily my forte, my skill set. So if it's something that's open source out there that I can use to kind of help take some of that pressure off me to make something aesthetically pleasing, I'm gonna do it. I mean, it only makes sense to do that, right? That's part of it. If it wasn't intended to be used, it wouldn't be made publicly available. So because it publicly available, then you must be okay with somebody else using it. So I'm gonna use it. But I'm gonna give that person credit though because I like the design, and it's gonna be one of those few times where my opinion actually matters. Because typically in life your opinion don't matter, especially if you got a wife or significant other. What you think don't matter quite as much as what they think and what they go through. So, but in this instance, it's my portfolio, so I'm just gonna use the design that I like. That's all. That is all. Yep. Not yet. Part next. I don't think we're gonna add any authentication, but if we do add authentication, we'll use auth.js, and from there we'll use credentials and Google OAuth. That's typically the way I like to do it. Credentials just so that if a potential employer wanted to see this and I hold on to this for an actual website, then they can just make up something and log in just fine without actually having to use their personal information because they may not want to share that with me. So, but it won't take much to add it. And if it's something you're interested in, we can absolutely do it. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that Daisy UI is working, and then we'll probably shift focus to doing some design layout work for the website for the tracker. Yep. Right, right, right. Yeah, it still hadn't. That's right. That's exactly right. No, man. I Yep. Insert it, and then we'll just push those changes. And then once we push them, uh, yeah. I don't know about all that, man. Wildin', man. Yeah, somebody was talking about. All right, so then that's there. Yeah, you know, man, it threw me off a little bit, talking about in me and all this other kind of jazz, and I'm like, man, dude, what? I'm just trying to build a project, bro. Yeah, man, this ain't even that kind of party, man. Ain't no fun bothering me. I'm the little man, dude. You go do that with somebody else, man. That could be a. Well, don't do it with nobody. But if you're gonna do it with somebody, go do it, man. Don't come bother me. That's what I'm saying. This guy's tripping. Of course, of course. Nah, I just want to make sure that we got Daisy going, and then once we got Daisy going, I'll probably come back later on and do some of the design work. But for right now, I'm good with uh, what we have, and we'll start separating out branches and all that jazz. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, I do. Not as much as I used to, or yeah, I have. I should probably say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my apologies. This thing is acting up. Apologies. This thing is acting up today. All right, let's check our repo. So we see the commit names here. This is the title update. The initial setup is when those were added. And then in the app directory, if we go to page.tsx, we should see, yep, the Daisy UI BTN. So to vercel and do a redeployment if it isn't already done. Yeah, I appreciate everyone hanging out with me. I genuinely do. Leave a leave a comment. Let me know where you're checking me out from. I'd love to know. And if you got any questions, leave them in the respective comment section. Yep. Gonna do a redeployment now. And we should be good. I mean, it works in getting the errors or anything. Uh-oh. Most recent, I think I got a duplicate then. Yeah. Hold on. There's a, let me see something. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh man, I appreciate it, man. I had fun making it, man. It was quite a bit of engagement. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna do more of those. I just need to kind of find my footing, if you will. But yeah, for sure. Okay. So all of that looks good. Let's go get check out main. I had this thing saved as, pretty sure it's get log. So we're on Daisy UI confirm working. But what is Daisy UI confirm working too? But it's just not capturing it here. Let's redeploy and see what we get. What is it? Get push dash u or gin name. Okay, there we go. And then now let's do a get push. Push main master. Get push master. Let's see something now. Let's hit the logs. Yep. No, I appreciate it because I know my connection has been acting up a little bit, but I appreciate everyone hanging in there with me though. It means a lot for real. If you have any questions, just ask away. Just hanging out, coding, answering questions. Nothing nothing too heavy. So if you have anything, ask away. I'll be happy to answer for sure. Event tracker, there we go. Daisy confirmed working too, there we go. So maybe it's just my baby being a little slow today because there it is. It has it on that branch. It has it on the main branch and it's capturing that. See it. Let me just make sure that it works. And I've used Daisy UI before on projects and deployment and production, so I'm aware that it should work without an issue. Absolutely. Man, see nothing now. Right, right, right. Well, that's what I was thinking too. But hey, yep, there we go. So we see it works. Cool. So next up, we'll shift the focus to building out the actual UI of our interface. But for right now, I think I'm going to give this internet